Welcome to Bi-Monthly Bull, the show where people can't decide if bi-monthly means once every 2 months or twice a month. I'm your host Lewis Spears, and it definitely means twice a month. I just suck at my job. In our first story, 2017 has been a massive year for female empowerment, especially in the business and sports sectors. Recently, a woman called Tracy Gaudry was appointed as the CEO of the Richmond Tigers, becoming the very first female CEO in the AFL. However, she wasn't satisfied with making AFL history just once. So, in the same year, Tracy broke another record by becoming the very first AFL CEO to be fired in just 5 months. That's 2 records in 1 year. Just try and name a male CEO who can do that. Take that, boys. Girl power. Over to Melbourne now, where one of the biggest horse racing events in the world, the Melbourne Cup, recently finished. One of the horses during race 4, named Regal Monarch, fell over, injuring itself and its jockey called João Maneira. Unfortunately, João was so badly injured that he was unable to race in any further races during the Cup, and Regal Monarch's breakdown was so bad that it would never race again. As we all know, when dealing with severely injured horses, it is standard practice to put them down on the field. However, due to an unfortunate paperwork mix-up, Regal Monarch was actually given João Maneira's personal injury insurance payout, and João was given Regal Monarch's shotgun bullet to the brain. Racing officials are working around the clock to find out how this tragic mix-up occurred, and the police are launching their own investigation to find out why nobody noticed that João was missing until he started to turn up in small bottles of glue. The same-sex marriage postal survey recently finished, with 12.6 million Australians having their say on an issue that will, statistically speaking, only affect about 600,000 of them. The main argument against same-sex marriage is that once legalized, it becomes a slippery slope which can very quickly destroy the very foundations of a country. To test that theory, I travelled to New Zealand, who legalised same-sex marriage in 2003, to see if I could find out exactly how same-sex marriage and the gay agenda can destroy an entire country. As my plane took off and we headed towards New Zealand, I immediately started to notice a strange phenomenon. The closer we got to a country that had legalized same-sex marriage, the more everything around me started to remain exactly the fucking same as it was in Australia. But I didn't let that stop me, because I spent $600 on flights and accommodation, so I was not leaving until I had evidence of gay marriage ruining New Zealand. So as soon as we landed, I started to clutch at straws. So we just landed in Auckland, New Zealand, and I can confirm that ever since gay marriage was legalized here, the entire city has turned to garbage. Okay, so maybe that wasn't the best example, but it was time to get serious. So we sent a drone up into the sky to see how gay marriage has destroyed the landscape. This is what New Zealand looked like in 2001, before gay marriage was legalized. And this is what it looks like today. Now, fucking Lord of the Rings, you ruined my argument. Back to you, Lewis. On to American news now. World-renowned actor Kevin Spacey was recently fired from the TV show House of Cards after sexual assault allegations forced Netflix to drop him from their network. Fans of the television show are disappointed and outraged. Not at Kevin Spacey, by the way, for all the sexual assault stuff, more so at Netflix for firing him for it. I mean, come on. He's playing a fictional president. All of the real presidents that have been in office have been accused of sexual assault at some point. For all we know, Kevin Spacey could just be an incredible method actor. Earlier in the week, America experienced yet another tragic mass shooting when a man from Texas walked into a church with an AR-15 and killed more than 20 innocent people. This has left everyone scratching their heads, trying to answer the question, why is America the only nation on earth where these kinds of mass shootings regularly occur? The answer is unclear. But one thing we do know for certain, that it definitely has nothing to do with the fact that a civilian can buy a fucking assault rifle on the internet. I mean, it's almost definitely some other reason. It couldn't be that. Until someone figures out the answer to that incredibly perplexing question, some of America's top minds are suggesting that they try using thoughts and prayers again to combat against mass shootings. I mean, I don't know, considering that the last fucking mass shooting happened in a church, you would think that that is definitive proof that prayers do fuck all to stop some psycho with a gun. But hey, you know, you guys could give it another go. I mean, isn't thoughts and prayers how we stopped mass shootings in Australia? Oh, no, sorry, got that a bit confused. We just stopped selling assault rifles at fucking Walmart. But you know, try the thoughts and prayers thing again, and you let me know how that goes. Fingers crossed. Now, if you're a big fan of low-budget satire, you've probably been wondering why Bi-Monthly Bull hasn't put out an episode in a couple of weeks. You also might need some better taste in entertainment. The reason why Bi-Monthly Bull has been on hiatus is because thanks to our supporters on Patreon, we've been able to upgrade our operations and move into a more permanent film space. Initially, we wanted to move into a warehouse, but after trying to call our accountant and not getting through to him because we can't afford an accountant, we came to the conclusion that if we can't afford an accountant, we definitely can't fucking afford to pay rent. So we moved into the next best thing, a 10-meter squared storage unit run by a facility that told us in no uncertain terms that we are absolutely not to film inside their storage units. But thanks to the power of fake names and soundproofing, they probably won't find out that we're in here for at least a couple of months. So before that happens, if you'd like to help fund Bi-Monthly Bull and help us achieve the warehouse dream before we get kicked out of here, consider supporting us on Patreon. It makes a big difference and you get early access to everything I upload. That's the end of tonight's show. Thank you very much for joining me. If you like the video, leave a thumbs up, subscribe, share it around, and like I said, tickets to the live taping of my stand-up comedy special are on sale now. All the tickets are below. Thanks for joining me. My name's Lewis Spears. I'll see you in 2 weeks.